Hello, everyone. Welcome to My Tummy Hurts. I'm your host, Shannon Chan Kent. And today I have my beautiful friend, Amanda Zaeske, on. I'm saying it right, right?
Yes, you are.
She is a screenwriter, a freelance writer, a jewelry maker, an artist, a musician. I see maybe guitar
Oh
behind
no,
you. Is that your
that is.
boyfriend's?
Oh no, that's just decoration.
She's an amazing person, and she's going through her own battle with a chronic illness, and I'm so grateful to have you on. So welcome. Thank you so much for doing
You.
this. And
Yeah, thank you for having me. I'm excited to be here.
I'm excited to have you. So just a little bit of context, our mutual friend Larissa introduced
Mm.
us last year.
I think it
Was it a
was
year?
like a year and a half
A
ago.
year
Yeah.
a year and a half ago. I was still like kind of in denial about like my Lyme diagnosis, but I knew that like after I had like gotten some blood test and like my spike protein was really high, and I knew that I felt like crap after COVID and never really recovered. And she introduced me to you, who also is dealing with
Also,
long
never
COVID.
recovered from COVID. Yeah. Like you guys have
Yeah.
something in common.
Yes, yes. So just even like before we get into the COVID of it all, can you just tell us a little bit about yourself, where you're from, where you're
Yeah,
based?
sure. I've lived in LA for 13 years, but
Oh.
I am a Chicagoan at heart. Go Windy City. And yeah, I came to LA with big dreams like everyone else and
Hmm.
started writing and just have always been really passionate about storytelling and art and fitness. And yeah, just things have been good until they got flipped upside down
Right.
a few years ago. Yeah.
So, okay, when did you contract COVID, and was it your first time having it?
No, I got COVID for the fourth time.
Oh,
Oh yeah.
I didn't know
Oh
it was a
yeah.
fourth time.
Oh yeah. July 2023 and it was no symptoms. Zero. Like I was a little tired. And I'm really in tune with my body. I think women are very in tune with their bodies
Yeah,
and I knew something was off. Took a bunch of COVID tests, negative. I never like test positive on rapid tests. I don't know what it is. I always have to have a PCR.
interesting.
So that's how we confirmed it was COVID, but yeah, literally not like like when you're fed the information that if you're young and you're healthy, like you're fine and you're
Hmm.
vaccinated or whatever, like you're gonna be fine. And I
Hmm.
I drank the juice for sure. I
Yeah,
drank the juice and I knew what long COVID was, but I kind of pushed it out of my brain
yeah,
because it's a scary thing. And like I don't think when you're able-bodied and healthy that it's easy to admit that you could be vulnerable to something like that.
right.
And also, when doctors and like the CDC and the government are telling you that you're not at risk, you believe them. And you're like, you're right, I'm not. I'm like 29 and I'm healthy. And
Right.
that was not true. I mean, I was 29 and healthy.
Yeah, yeah,
I was, everyone's at risk.
yeah.
And yeah, so that was it was a pretty quick realization that I was chronically ill after that. It happened really fast. I had had an active infection and I rested for like 5 days. And I
Okay.
was like, I don't even have symptoms. I'm gonna go back to the gym.
Hmm.
Biggest mistake of my life, truly. I think of that moment as like a huge turning point.
Hmm.
I went and like weightlifted, and then the next day I was so sick I couldn't move from my bed, and I knew it was long COVID.
Hmm.
And thank goodness I did because I was able to research it
Yeah.
and rest and prevent myself from getting worse. But yeah, what a nightmare it was to wake up feeling like I just ruined my life by doing that.
I can't even like I'm trying to think back if there was like a moment, a turning point for me, and I'm sure there was, but like no, you must have felt like dead that the next day, being like,
It
oh, something
it
is severely wrong.
I can't even really explain it unless you felt what a post-exertional malaise crash feels like.
Yeah.
It's like getting a concussion with a flu
Yeah.
and somebody has poured lead into your blood
Yeah.
and beat you in the face. Like and set your nerves on fire.
Yeah.
It's truly excruciating, unbearable type of pain and fatigue. And there's no mistaking that something is seriously, seriously wrong when you're going through it.
Did you take yourself to the ER or did you know
Oh,
enough
I went to
about?
urgent care.
Oh,
I
yeah.
went to urgent care. Well, like they're gonna know what the heck is happening. And I actually
Ugh.
thought it's so stupid in hindsight. I knew nothing. I was healthy for my whole life, you know. I went to urgent care. Anyone who's chronically ill is probably laughing their butt off about that. But I mean, the ER would have treated me the same, and I saved
Yeah.
myself some money. But at the nurse at urgent care I told him what happened, and I was like, it feels like I got hit by a bus. And then he actually thought I got hit by a bus, and he's like, so when did you get hit by this bus? I'm like, it's a metaphorical bus.
You're like, I don't know what the fuck I'm doing here.
Yeah, and then I left. I was like, that was a waste of my time.
I
Yeah.
know. I know. And I'm always like, every time I'm like, okay, like I went to the ER like 7 or 8 times in like the course of like 6 months or something. And I was like, okay, well, at least if I did get hit by a bus, I know where to go. Like,
Right.
if I had a
That's
broken
pretty
bone,
much
I know where to
I
go.
that's pretty much the only thing you can go to the ER for is when like
Heart attack, stroke.
yeah,
And they're great with that,
for
you
sure.
know?
Chronic illness like and I don't think a lot of nurses really don't want us even to go to the ER when we
Yeah.
have
Yeah.
chronic illness flare-ups, but like sometimes I have to be put on an IV and
Mm,
urgent cares often won't do it for you. And I can't
okay.
just like get an IV at like a med spa in LA where they're also giving Botox to somebody next door. Like
Yeah.
I need like medication in my IV to stop
Mm,
like migraines or to like my blood pressure will drop dangerously low. So
okay.
sometimes that's like the only choice. And that is a system flaw of healthcare. Like we
Okay.
should be able to, that should be in all urgent cares. We should be administering IVs.
Completely. And I feel like, I mean, not everyone can just walk in and be like, this is I know I've like read so many vestibular migraine things. And it's like when I go to the ER and I feel like a migraine coming on, I tell the doctor, this is the cocktail I need. But
Mhm.
then I'm like, I don't think anyone can just walk into the ER and be like, this is the cocktail I need. Cause the doctor would have to be like, either are you addicted to some, you know what I mean? Like it has to be in your file, obviously
Yeah,
that those
I
are
know.
the things that, right?
There's
But
so
it
many
is,
hurdles in the beginning.
yeah,
There's so many hurdles you have to jump through in order to get taken seriously in the
yeah,
beginning. Well, I'm sure throughout the course of the illness, but in the beginning it's the hardest when you don't have like a documented illness and like you're not on medication yet, you're not seeing
yeah,
a doctor for this yet. It really is a baptism by fire.
completely.
Yeah.
So, for those who don't know what chronic fatigue or myalgic encephalitis is, can
Mhm.
you explain it a little?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So the preferred name is definitely, the one that's hard to pronounce, but ME/CFS is acceptable. And it's a severe neuroimmune illness. It's it's very severe. It's not, I think a lot of people just think it's being tired.
Hmm.
And everybody knows what it feels like to be tired. Take
Hmm.
your tired, add like 15 pounds of weight on your shoulders and like a week of not sleeping. And then also add like all the other symptoms that come with ME/CFS on top of it. And then you're kind of close to what it actually feels like.
Yeah.
It's truly your worst nightmare of an illness. I have seen what severe and very severe ME looks like on
Hmm.
people. They
Hmm.
cannot be touched. They have to have no light. Some
Hmm.
people can't tolerate clothes. There are feeding tubes involved. Their digestive system is completely shut down. People have commodes. They cannot go to the bathroom by themselves. It's truly like its nickname is living death.
Yeah.
Because it truly is. And on a mild spectrum, which is where I'm at, very
Mhm.
fortunately, it's still very disruptive to your day. Like you think mild and you're like, oh, it's just like mild, but mild is still like 50 to 60% loss of your capacity of where you were as a healthy person,
Yeah.
which is significant.
Yeah.
So,
Um, with your MECFS, I know that POTS came with it and dysautonomia.
mhm.
Can you also explain what those are and how those affect you in your daily life?
Yeah, of course. I have the hypervolemic POTS. There's like a couple subsets of POTS. Hypervolemic basically means like I have like less blood volume, so I struggle with fainting a lot. My blood pressure is really low. I have like the more dizzy symptoms versus tachycardic, which is a really high fast heart rate. I still
Mm-hmm.
struggle with that. Like obviously you have to meet the diagnostic threshold to get diagnosed, but
Yeah.
that's not my main issue. I don't get adrenaline dumps like some people do. My main issue is I just faint a lot. I faint a lot. Yeah, it's really
Are
fun.
you still fainting?
I every time I stand up, I black out every single time. And I have to like I call it like my hunchback of Notre Dame walk. I have to just hunch over with my head in line with my heart until like the blood reaches my head and then I can stand.
Oh my God. That
But I'm
is
like really type A and like I got things to do, so I'm just like running around my house like hunched over.
okay. So I mean, I know with your POTS and then, so what you've been struggling with more recently, I say in like
Yeah.
quotations, is like your esophagus stuff.
Yeah, this is like what the heck, right?
Yes. Okay. Walk
It
us through
never,
that.
yeah, it never ends, does it? Every day I'm like, I'm doing good. Oh, new diagnosis.
Totally.
I
Totally.
started like getting food stuck in my throat and pills stuck in my throat, and I didn't think anything of it. I'm like, that's normal, right?
Yeah.
And then one day last November, I got something stuck in my throat and it was really scary.
Mm.
And my body like had a visceral reaction and I had a panic attack and I almost fainted and it like tripped something in my nervous system. And the
Yeah.
next day, I could not eat solid food. And here we are, almost a year later,
I can't
and
even.
thousands of dollars and doctor offices and procedures and really like medieval torture
Yeah.
things. Like I highly recommend not getting COVID just to avoid getting a tube shoved up your nose and down your throat. Just for that reason.
Yeah.
And like it's a possibility if you get COVID that you could be doing that. Yeah. So it's been hard. I saw a doctor yesterday actually. He's a motility.
Yes.
Yeah. And
Yes.
he does like GI motility. I don't have gastroparesis, which is great because that's a terrible, horrible diagnosis.
Yes.
Like your
Yes. Okay.
stomach is
Fantastic.
paralyzed. Yeah, but I do have ineffective esophageal motility, which basically means either the muscles or the nerves have been damaged by something, maybe a virus, oh, most likely,
Hmm.
and it my esophagus doesn't contract properly to push food through and into my stomach. Um, However, I've had improvement. I have gotten like slightly better, so he thinks it's a mixture of like a nervous system trip,
Yeah.
hypersensitive esophagus, like I feel everything. I'm gonna freak out. My
Yeah.
esophagus isn't gonna function properly. And the motility. So there's hope that I could get back to like 75% of my diet. But it
Fantastic.
will be something that I have to deal with for the rest of my life. Yeah.
How did you get to that? I know I want to just for people because it's such a black hole of
Mm,
like getting diagnoses and can you walk us through a little bit? I mean, you had mentioned earlier before that you had done research on long COVID and you were the next day after you had that PEM, you were like, I'm pretty sure this is long COVID.
yeah,
Can you walk us through your diagnosis process and
sure, of
who
course.
you've been working with and
Yeah,
what?
for sure. I really avoided seeing a doctor for a long time.
Yeah,
I was like, you know what? A lot of people get long COVID and then recover after 6 months.
yeah,
And so until I hit this 6 month mark, I'm not gonna do anything. I'm just gonna rest and take care of myself and try these supplements that people on Reddit are suggesting and hope for the best. And
yeah,
that's what I did. And look at that, didn't recover.
yeah,
So I also, and I have a very supportive family, but
Hmm.
it was really hard for them. And it wasn't that they didn't believe me. They definitely did believe me. It
Hmm.
was more so they were hoping it would just go away. So I like it's a very expensive thing to find care, especially with like long COVID. Like high, like maybe four doctors can help you,
Yeah.
like in the country. Obviously there's more than
And
that,
even
but
then, and even then, it's like everyone is different. Everyone presents
yeah.
different.
And
And
there's a waiting list,
yeah,
and they can say no to helping you.
yeah.
So I actually got really sick in May of 2024, and I became bedbound for like 6 weeks, and it was terrifying. And that's when my parents were like, okay, we have to do something. And they
Hmm.
helped me find a long COVID doctor in Los Angeles.
Yeah.
And I had like, and then once I was able to like, I did recover from being bedbound, and I was able to like go in and do an intake. And he's the one that diagnosed me with ME/CFS and POTS. Um,
And did
so
he do that through blood work? Because you were saying that there are certain
there is like
markers.
there's no like markers out where you can like test it yet. There is so it's and MECFS has been around for a long
Yeah.
time,
Yeah.
and it took COVID to take it seriously and to start
Hmm.
looking for these things. So these things aren't verifiable yet.
Yeah.
It's basically there's a criteria you have to fit, and basically you just fill out this like criteria, and if you fit it, you get it.
Hmm. Hmm.
PEM is a defining symptom of ME/CFS. So if you don't get crashes, then you don't have ME/CFS.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
POTS is easier to diagnose because you can do the
Like tilt
Nasaline
table or
test or the tilt table, which luckily he let me do the Nasaline test because tilt table's like, that's just mean.
yeah.
That's just cruel.
Yeah.
Let's
Yeah.
make you faint.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I remember I think I was on the pot spectrum, but I had like tachycardia type
Mm,
pots. I wasn't
yeah,
like blacking out, but I was like my resting heart rate was like 120,
really high.
130.
That's crazy. Yeah.
It was crazy. And I just kept telling my parents, I was living with my parents at the time, and I was like, I'm gonna faint. I was like, I'm shaking, like I'm gonna faint, I'm gonna faint. And they're like, you're not gonna faint. I was like, but I don't, why is my resting heart rate 130 right now?
Yeah,
You
it's
know?
scary.
Yeah.
It's
It's
like a constant panic attack, basically.
so after working with your long COVID doctor, did you see improvements? You went on
I
some
did.
medication?
Yeah, he got me on medication, and so I went on medication for my low blood pressure.
Mm-hmm.
That really helps. And I went on another medication for like muscle weakness. I don't know if that helps, but I take it.
Yeah. Yeah,
Like,
yeah, yeah.
what's it
Placebo
gonna hurt?
and,
Yeah, who knows?
yeah,
Whatever. And I also tried NAD plus patches from Ageless RX,
right.
and those actually really helped me. Like
Yeah.
I don't know if it was just a coincidence that maybe I was just improving at the same
Mm-hmm.
time that I was using them,
Mm-hmm.
but I did like increase my steps with them because when I
Great.
first got sick, I could only do like 2,500 steps a day without crashing.
Mm-hmm.
And like I would crash in the moment. I would feel it. Like my blood pressure would drop, my heart rate would drop, I would either faint or like I couldn't walk anymore. And like it was like, I mean, you know how it feels like when you lose the ability to walk like that. It's like, what
Yeah.
happening to me? It's horrifying. But it increased me up to like 10,000 steps a day.
That's crazy.
Yeah. And so again, I don't know. I think I'm very fortunate where I do not have progressive ME/CFS. Some people just get worse and worse and worse. It's
Yeah.
truly so scary. I'm mild and I've stayed mild. I've had some dips, but I always bounce back to my baseline.
That's, like I don't want to be like,
It gotta
that's
take a big jump.
amazing.
I mean, it is. We have to
But
be
it is.
grateful in some ways, right?
I
It could
know.
be worse. We know it could be worse. I don't
I
ever
know.
say like it couldn't, well, at least it couldn't get worse because that is not true.
Yeah, I know. I think about that too. I'm like, when I'm like, everyone's like, "Oh, how are you feeling today?" And I'm like white knuckling. I'm still white knuckling through so much. And then I'm like, "Well, it could be worse." I can walk to the grocery store today, or I can think about taking a flight home to Vancouver if I need to. And there is always some sort of crash for me when I do exert myself, but I have also been able to get back to my baseline. And
Yeah.
for a while, it's been, oh, I can bounce back within a week. The last, I would say, like 3 months, it's been like I can bounce back in a month. Like it's getting a bit
So
much.
you're overdoing it.
I know. I
Yeah.
think I'm overdoing. I think I'm overdoing it.
Yeah.
So
And it's hard because you're probably underdoing it compared to what you were doing previously. Yeah.
yeah, I was just on the phone with like this cervicogenic PT that I've been working with, and he's just like, I'm like, yeah, but when I lift weights over my head, like I feel fine while doing it. And then an hour later, then the room starts spinning. And like, I'm just like, and I'm like, okay, but those weights are like 5 pounds and where I was doing like 15s a month ago. And then, yeah, I just get like the ego and that.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. I mean, especially both of us, we come from fitness backgrounds,
Yeah.
and it was definitely the hardest part for me to adjust to.
Yeah.
Uh,
Me too.
just losing the ability to exercise and like push my body in the ways that I loved. Like I loved lifting weights. I taught yoga. I loved going on hikes. I never would run because who likes doing that? But, I loved fitness. I loved Pilates. Like it was a huge part of my life,
Yeah.
and not a part of my personality, but a huge part of my life. And I am extremely type A,
Yeah.
and I thought I could force it. I really did. I thought, yeah, I know, like exercise is poison to ME/CFS because it's literal poison and
Mm,
it can kill you. Like
mm.
once you're in severe ME/CFS, your organs start to shut down. So it can literally kill you.
Wow.
And I was stupid and thought I'm gonna just do it. Like I literally did graded exercise therapy without knowing what graded exercise therapy was, and learned how dangerous it is for people with ME/CFS through my own experiment.
Mm,
And yeah, I will most likely, unless I make a recovery, and I'm not obviously saying that that's not possible, but I like to live in reality that this is my reality,
yeah.
because if I give myself hope, I could be healthy again, and then I don't become healthy again. I have to grieve all over again.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I don't think I'll ever lift a weight ever again for the rest of my life. But I can do yoga,
Yeah.
I can do mat Pilates, and I just take breaks. And so I try to be grateful for what I can do because a lot of people can't even do that.
I know. I know. It's so tough. It's always this, that it could be worse. And you're also still allowed to grieve
Yeah, of
your
course.
life.
No,
And
of course, and I don't think I'll ever stop grieving. I mean, like we were talking before, grief is not linear,
yeah,
and it comes in waves, and sometimes I feel like I can really handle this.
yeah,
I've got my finger on the pulse of this, and like I'm in control. And
yeah,
then my body will react in a way that I wasn't expecting, or I just miss it. And that's the
yeah,
biggest thing. I'm like,
yeah.
oh, I just really wish I could do that. And it's like the things I have to think about now. I'm like, my 86-year-old grandma doesn't have to think
I
about that.
know. I know.
I'm like, that's not fair.
Like, I'm sure because we both, like we said, come from fitness backgrounds. It's like, I mean, I enjoy running, but no longer than like 25, 30 minutes. But
Yeah, I
like,
couldn't even do that. So,
like, okay, if I'm angry, if I'm moody, if I'm
yeah,
sad, if I'm, like
it would work out.
I would work out like I'm not and yes, I can like freestyle journal, and like get all my feelings out there, but it's like something about moving that energy in
It
that way.
releases stress hormones. Like it
Yes.
literally actually helps you release stress. And that is the way I dealt with stress and depression, because I've had depression my whole life.
Hmm.
And that was the way I dealt with this. And now I've had, to deal with depression on top of trauma and loss and becoming disabled in a world that really views disability as a personal weakness.
Yeah.
And that is really difficult.
Yeah.
I think that's the hardest part of everything is the lack of community from able-bodied people.
Yeah. Okay, my other question is you have a boyfriend
I do,
and
yes.
you've been together for a few years now, right? You guys live
Six,
together?
yeah, 6 years. Yeah.
How how has it been for you guys? Because I could do a whole episode on relationships and chronic illness.
I'm so lucky. Again, I'm so blessed in so many ways. He is just an example of how you should be in situations like this.
Mm-hmm.
And I have seen so many people's partners leave them, and
Yep.
it's just an unfortunate reality of when people get sick, partners just can't hang.
Yeah.
And it's the opposite with Harrison. I told him, I'm like, you have to start masking at work because I'm not getting COVID again.
Yeah.
And he was like, okay. And he did it. That was it. That was the
Wow.
conversation. The end.
Wow.
Never had to have that conversation ever again. By the way, everybody, it's that easy. Like, it's that
Yeah.
easy.
Wow.
Love somebody and they ask you to do something to protect their health, you do it,
Yeah.
period. And he never made me feel like I was asking too much. And he's just very supportive and has been there through the scary stuff. And it's hard on him too. It's
Of
affected his life
course.
and it's affected his social life.
Yeah.
And it's isolated us in a way that is really unpleasant.
Hmm.
But we have each other, and I think we're both really grateful for that. And I wish everybody had a Harrison. I really do.
I mean, he sounds amazing. It's hard.
He's a caretaker. That's his thing. So I really
Love
picked
that.
well. Yeah.
You picked so well. It was like I saw this like Instagram and it was like pick your partner like your life depends on it. And then she
Yes,
like
it's true
gets
because it
super
does because
sick.
you
Yeah.
don't know what's going to happen to you
Yeah.
and you really don't know. Like he's the perfect person to love somebody who's chronically ill or disabled because that stuff doesn't bother him. His love is not contingent on you being healthy. Like he loves taking care of people. So I got very
Oh
lucky.
my gosh, what a dream.
I know
What a
because
dream.
most people are not like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I also leave room for people and it sucks, but it's like if you know your partner or if you were dating Harrison and he was like, I don't know if I can live the rest of my life being a caretaker like this, being so young. You guys are in
Yeah.
your early 30s,
Mhm.
and it's like you also can't fault someone for
No, I
knowing
agree.
their capacity,
I
also.
agree. Well, and it's as the chronically ill person, it is so hard to hear that because you feel like that means your worth as a person is less now. Like,
Yeah,
why people wouldn't want to date me, that feels ableist, but
yeah,
is it? And that's an interesting conversation. And it's fair. If somebody doesn't have the capacity to date somebody, then you're doing the chronically ill disabled person a favor by
yeah,
taking yourself out of the equation. It's
yeah,
good self-awareness to have. Unfortunately, it's not often brought on by emotionally intelligent conversations, and it's brought on just by abrupt abandonment,
yeah.
which I've had with friends. Yeah,
Yeah. Okay, I want to talk about that. How has like the role in community played like how how has community changed for you? What like brings you a sense of community, feeling
yeah,
isolated, having your social circle change?
right. Well, thank
Um
goodness, yeah, for online,
yeah.
and thank goodness
And
for
even you and me like WhatsApp, like
yes,
our friendship,
exactly.
you know?
I know, exactly. I I've never like been a person to have like tons of friends. I like to have really meaningful, impactful relationships with people.
Yeah,
I'm
me
just
too.
like I can't not be deep with my friendships.
Yeah.
So I thought the people I selected would really show up for me when this happened because I know I would show up for them.
Mm-hmm.
And several did. And like Larissa's been great. I think there's a learning curve,
Yeah.
with this. And I think we need to give people grace and not expect perfection
Yeah.
and allow people to make mistakes and ask questions. And I think as long as you're willing, like you're doing a good job. As long as you're like willing to just remain in their life and not make everything about the illness, like you're doing a great
Yes.
job.
Yes.
Um, Unfortunately, like that didn't happen with like my best friend, and that
Mm.
was like a really hard. I'm still not actually over like losing that person, but I've made peace with it, and I know that it was just hard for them to. They just couldn't hang. They couldn't handle like how my life changed, and
Yeah.
I don't know if it was so much my illness. I think it was my depression that came with it, and
Hmm.
also the restrictions I had to put on with my health that affected and eventually ended the relationship. I'm not sure because we never actually talked about why, but
Yeah. I was gonna say, what do you think it is for most people? Is it because we're not able to like participate in the things that we used to, and then that
I think
makes them
no.
sad? Or
I think they just don't know what to do. I
yeah,
think it's like a lack of emotional like maturity. I
yeah,
think it's like this is big and overwhelming and I don't know what to do about it
yeah.
and I don't think I want to do anything about it.
Hmm.
And I, I don't necessarily think that's like I said like I don't necessarily think that makes you a bad person.
No.
Um but we all will become disabled one day. I mean, everyone dies. Everyone's going to get sick and die or die in other ways. Like,
Yeah.
you don't know what life throws at you. So I do think this is an area like this area of empathy does need to be grown in most people,
Hmm.
and it's really not. But
Hmm.
yeah, I don't think it was about my lack of participation. I think it was more so it was like it felt icky to them, like it felt
Hmm.
uncomfortable.
I think that's actually, I think that is what most people feel. They feel uncomfortable
Hmm.
and they don't know how to show up or sit in that uncomfortability.
Yeah, well, you know what? I'm like really like quite a confrontational person, so I literally will tell you what
You
I.
are?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. I don't believe in beating around the bush. When
Yeah.
I believe if you're upset with somebody, just to have the conversation. Um, so when I have an issue with my friends, I'm not like, but
Yeah, yeah,
I bring
yeah.
it to attention in a
Yeah.
respectful way. And I would hope that they would do the same for me when we have an issue. Because
Yeah.
that means I care about you and the friendship.
Yeah.
The
Yeah.
issue is when they just like ghost you after that. So that was their answer.
And have you found, like online? So this is like something that I've been also like having boundaries with, not being a part of too many chronic illness groups, not
Yeah.
really talking to too many chronic illness people. Um,
I
I
think
also
there's
like,
balance for sure that there's
yeah,
balance. Like I stay off the long COVID subreddit because it's very dark and depressing and
yeah,
gives me anxiety. But I have met some really amazing people with long COVID and other chronic illnesses. And we connected on Instagram or TikTok, Reddit, I don't know,
yeah.
you, Larissa, and it's great. And the people that I've gotten close to in that
Mm-hmm.
community, it's not the only thing we talk about.
Mm-hmm.
We have other things in common as well.
I think, I've said this to like, and I've like my best friend, she lives in Berlin and we're so close. We're like sisters. And when I first got sick, it was really hard because I had ME, I did have ME,
Mhm.
CFS, and I couldn't talk on the phone. I couldn't even have a conversation. I like all the lights were out, and my best friend was like getting mad at me, but it was almost more because like she didn't understand what was going on and she didn't know how to be there and blah blah
Yeah.
blah blah blah. But as I progressively got better, I also like remind people that like I don't want to talk about my illness all the time. I still like my brain might be slower, but like I can still be there emotionally for you as a friend. And
I
and
know.
and you know, as time has gone on, she's been like, "Oh my God, like you show up for me more than even my fully able friends show up for
Well,
me."
because you have the experience and
Yeah.
you have it grows empathy in you to go through something like this.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so I wish that same for me, and I've had to have that conversation with a friend who went through something difficult and just wanted to have like a competition of trauma with
Mm.
me. And it was just hard. I'm like, I can be here for you. I want to be here for you.
Yes.
But I also need it in return, and it cannot be like this one-way street of me
Yeah.
only being here for you.
Yeah.
Yeah, like we said, it's a learning curve for
Yeah.
sure.
And I had like another girlfriend be like, well, I was like, I haven't really heard from you. And she's like, I love you. She's like, I just, like I know you're going through a lot. So I wanted to give you the space. And then
I don't want the space.
I just kept reminding her, I was like, chronic ill people or people going through a hard time need community. It feels so isolating
Well, and if people,
already.
exactly, and if people are just going to wait for us to get better, I'll be dead.
Right.
Like you'll be at my funeral being like, "Oh, gee, I wish we had reconnected." It's like, well, you could have tried.
Yeah.
So, like I'm like I said, like I'm not sitting around waiting for myself to get better.
Yeah.
I am not. I'm expecting to be sick for the rest of my life.
Yeah.
And so if you want to be my friend, don't wait for me to not be sick anymore.
Okay, that's what else I wanted to touch on too is that, and we had talked about this before the podcast started, but the nervous system regulation of it all
Oh
and
yeah. Mhm.
and getting, you know, surrendering to being sick or in this season and like because I do think like I'm like straight down the middle in the way that like I do think the brain is really powerful. I do think if we can visualize things somewhere, somehow, some way they can happen.
Yeah.
Um, and you talked about choking on your food and then having that nervous system response, which
Mhm.
could have triggered
Yes.
your now, I don't know what it's called,
It's
but the
basically exasperated an already present real issue.
yes,
I feel like the nervous system can worsen conditions
yes,
and can amplify them and make the symptoms worse. I don't, but like I was saying before, I'm not I am extremely skeptical of anyone that says they've done brain retraining or
mm-hmm,
they've done nervous system work and they're magically cured. I think they were always going to be cured.
mm,
I'm like,
mm,
I think maybe you just like had post-viral illness and it cleared up because a lot of post-viral illness does resolve on its own. And so I'm not a believer in that.
yeah,
I'm just I've read too much science about like ME/CFS in particular
mm-hmm,
to believe that it can cure anything in a severe neuroimmune illness that affects your cells. Like
yeah,
it's like I was saying before, I meditate every day. I do deep breath work. This stuff does have value.
yeah,
It does help. I feel better. My heart rate's calmer,
mm,
but I'm still sick, and
yeah,
I don't expect it to cure me. So I think it's a great tool to have, but I don't think anybody out there, especially newly chronically ill people, if somebody is saying like, I can cure you in 6 weeks if you do this program, they're just trying to get your money. And when
yeah,
you're newly chronically ill, you are desperate, and I understand the urge to listen to that.
yeah. Yeah, there was this, my friend here in LA, one of her friends, he's a musician and I don't know if he got sick first, but he experienced CFS and
Mhm.
did one of those programs, but it took him like 6 months or something. And I'm like, 6 months? I was like, that's like a walk in the park. But
Yeah.
he did a brain retraining program and like it
Mhm.
changed his life. And I have done Primal Trust, I've done Vital Side, and I'm gonna say honestly, I start off really strong and then I start to kind of like taper off. And maybe that's why it hasn't quote unquote worked for me.
I don't know.
But
I am not an expert on these on that. I've had ME/CFS for 2 years,
yeah,
so I listen to people who are much more experienced with the illness than me, and I especially listen to people with severe ME. And
mm,
there are some really great creators out there that people can follow and get really good information of. I can give you their info later.
right.
And they are adamant that it's dangerous and it has really harmed people. Like I was saying, I think ME/CFS is a very misunderstood diagnosis, and it is sometimes given to people who do not have it, the illness,
Mm,
because doctors don't know what it is. They don't understand. I mean, oh my gosh, you think every time I go to the doctor and they're asking me what my illnesses are, I just say I have long COVID and
yeah,
POTS. I don't even bring up ME/CFS because
yeah,
it's not even like in their system.
yeah.
Like they've never heard of it. It's
Or
the
they'll like roll their eyes at you and be like, okay,
Yeah.
sure, you have
Oh,
brain inflammation.
exactly.
Yeah, yeah,
Well, so that's why I think it's di misdiagnosed because somebody's just like, I'm dealing with chronic fatigue, and they're like, oh, you have chronic fatigue syndrome.
yeah,
And ME is not chronic fatigue.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
So that's why I'm so skeptical. I'm not saying those things don't work. I'm saying I don't think they work for people who really truly have ME/CFS.
Do you think, and this is like a universal question, but like, do you think that the body wants to heal?
Of
Do
course.
you
Yeah.
think, yeah,
I think the body is like programmed to heal for sure.
yes,
I mean,
yes,
anytime we get an illness, I mean, autoimmune illnesses, I think, are an example of that. Like your body is like overactive,
mm-hmm,
like and like the reason why women get chronic illnesses more than men is because we have an overactive immune system. It's
yeah,
trying so hard to help us that it backfires.
yeah,
So yes, I do firmly believe that. Why else would we like be able to heal like, from illnesses and like bone breaks and things like that? I just think sometimes things are unrepairable
yeah.
or irreparable. I'm a
Do
writer.
do you think that you will have this the rest of your life?
Yeah, I do. And I had to make peace with that because the grief that I went through, um, when I first found out what was happening to me and when I first learned what ME/CFS was, it it's unlike anything I've
Yeah,
experienced.
yeah,
And I don't wish it on anybody because it's a level of grief you just can't comprehend unless you
yeah,
lose your health.
yeah,
And I can't go through that again. And I feel like for me, and this is just me, everybody is different. For
yeah.
just me, I'm not being negative, I'm not being a pessimist.
No,
I'm being a realist. I have a 5% chance of recovering from this illness, and I am not a lucky person. Just like look at my life. There's not luck there. So I'm just gonna assume this thing is forever.
I
And
love you.
I it's just a fact. Like my cat just died, on top of
Yeah,
all of
I
that. I'm
know.
like, you know what? The universe does hate me a little. At least a little. Like it hates me
I
just a
get
bit,
it.
you know?
I hear that. I
Not
hear
like
that.
one eye on me, like, you can
I'm
handle
I'm
trauma.
still I'm still in this like I believe in miracles phase, and then I'm like, holy shit, I've been dizzy nonstop for 3 years. And I'm
I
like,
think
you
I think it
know,
depends on where you're at with your illness too. Like I feel like besides the fact that I can't eat food, I'm actually pretty stable and I've been stable and I've paced and I've found a routine and I can work and pay my bills and I'm very grateful that I can make money off of freelance writing and create my
yeah.
art. Yeah.
How has this affected your work?
Yeah, I mean,
Because
I'm not
obviously
yoga.
with Emmy,
The brain
the
fog. Yeah, in
brain.
the beginning it was unbelievably difficult
Yeah.
because I had no cognitive ability in
Yeah.
the beginning. It was like in looking back, I think I was actually just in a rolling crash for like the first like 5 months of being sick because one day it broke and I like felt like I was coming up for air the first time.
Hmm.
So I'm doing better now and I just take breaks. And I'm really lucky where I can still write and read. I can't work 5 hours in a row. Like I
Yeah.
would not be able, if I lost my job, I don't know what I would do because I can't just go get a full-time job. It's not
Yeah.
possible.
I
I
know.
can work about 20 hours a week maximum.
Yeah. Have you found, I mean, have you found, okay, first, you've
Mhm.
also started dabbling into jewelry making.
Yes,
Your
yes.
creations, your jewelry, that pearl one, I was
Oh
like,
yeah.
I'm obsessed.
The pink one?
Yes,
Yeah.
I'm obsessed
Everyone
with
loved
that
that one.
one. I'm obsessed. Did you sell it yet? Have you sold
Oh,
it yet?
it sold like right away.
Oh,
Yeah.
damn it.
I know.
I was,
Well, I just bought more beads because my friend wants one. So I'm literally
I
making
would
her,
love one too.
but I can make you one. Yes.
Okay, I would love one too. Okay, we'll discuss. We'll discuss after. Um, has there been a silver lining at all
Yeah,
in
I mean, I
this?
think it's really kind of like an experiment to like watch what happens to a really first of all, why is everyone who gets a chronic illness like very ambitious? Because it's
Yeah,
never people who are not ambitious. It's always like the most ambitious type A, like overachievers.
yeah.
And so it's really interesting to see like what my brain did to fill the empty space.
Hmm.
And like when I lost food, that's when I started creating. And food was like one of the joys and comforts that I really was grateful I had. I was like, I'm so glad I don't have MCAS. I'm so glad I don't have gastroparesis.
Yeah.
I can eat whatever I want. This is great. And then when this happened, and I'm like, I can't eat anything but liquids, I had to find something to do to keep me sane.
Yeah.
And I don't know even really how it happened, but it became jewelry. Yeah.
I mean, did you have, I mean, you were obviously a visual artist before, were you not? Like, okay.
Yeah, I mean,
I was like,
not like not really actually. I mean, I've like done hobby photography with my friends
yeah,
and paint nights, but like I can't even draw a stick figure and like my creativity is like in my storytelling.
yeah,
And so I've never like been a craft person and I never thought this would be something I would do. And I started like making friendship bracelets and like really plasticky, like, 1990s friendship bracelets. And
hmm,
then I was like, oh, I could make myself like a real pearl necklace, like, because I found one I liked and it was like $300. And that's how that started. And then I just learned chainmail in a summer and just kind of found my niche and really loved it. It takes up a lot of my time
yeah.
and
But you can sit while doing it. You can, you're not fainting. Even
yeah,
the other day
exactly.
when you got a tattoo, and I was like, how did that not like,
Oh, and I was worried for sure. I wore like compression garments.
oh,
Yeah. Yeah. And brought like electrolytes and snacks. Yeah, I was definitely worried I was gonna faint, but it wasn't painful at all. So I think I
yeah.
was fine.
Is it on your
It only
arm?
got it was
Is it
right
on your
here on my forearm.
arm?
Yeah.
Oh, oh.
It got painful at the end when she added white. I guess that's a thing with tattoos.
Yeah.
And that's when I could feel my body weakening. Like I started sweating. And
Mm,
then when I got home, I was a little sick.
yeah.
But that was like, I sat for like 3 hours. So my body handled it pretty well overall.
So this is what I think I mean by like leaving room for that 5% of that glimmer, because I know that if I look back at being really sick, I couldn't walk. I like bought a water filter and I couldn't even read the instructions. I forgot how to write.
Yeah.
I had to get my little sister and my dad to put together my Berkey, and it was like I remember I lost like motion of my legs. I got so frustrated. I threw a greens powder in the kitchen, like, and my mom had to clean it up. Like it was one of my lowest points.
Yeah.
And I think about being that sick. And then I think about cooking for myself now, showering by myself now. And then I'm like, okay, the body is healing. And then the grief starts to set in when I think, well, it's been 3 years. Well, it's going on 4 years, and then it'll be 10 years before I actually heal and my
I
childbearing
think
days are
I
over.
think that
And
yeah, I think that the only thing we can really do is take it day by day. And I'm not saying that I'm closing the door to the possibility of
yeah,
me recovering.
yeah,
I'm just not expecting it.
yeah.
And I have severe depression, and if I really let myself get hope and feel excited about that, I
Hmm.
know that it will make my depression much, much worse if I don't. So this is just what I have done mentally with
Hmm.
myself, my therapist. Like, this is the expectation that I have set for myself in
Yeah,
order to remain sane. And that's just what works for me. And some people need the hope.
yeah,
And for me, it's about finding ways to be happy,
yeah.
creative, find joy, find connection, and with the life that I have because it still has value.
That's so, yeah, I
And it's
really, really
so,
feel that.
so much harder than, than to do it, than
I
to say
know.
it. And it's obviously I struggle feeling like I have value as a
Yeah,
person.
yeah.
And I think a lot of that has to do with how people reacted when I got sick.
Hmm.
It like confirmed my darkest thoughts of, oh, now that I'm ill, I don't have value as a person anymore.
Yeah,
And when somebody leaves your life and it confirms it to you. And so it takes
yeah,
a lot of therapy and a lot of self-work and self-love to be like, no, I have more value now, I think personally, than
mm,
I did before when I was able-bodied because I have this experience and
yeah,
this experience has made me a better person. I did not realize how ableist I was as an able-bodied person
mm,
and how much I failed the disabled community. Not even fail, but didn't even think about the disabled community. And
totally.
that's like every single able-bodied person. And that's not me saying shame on you. It's more like an education of like, huh, yeah, we don't think about chronically ill disabled people. They're not brought into conversations with politics and yet everything affects them.
Yeah,
Everything.
yeah.
So it is something to think about, I think, for people
Well, and
who have in their
even you and
life.
I were chatting, like, sure, we're both wearing some lip stuff and a bit of blush and have our
Mhm.
hair done or whatever. And
Yeah,
it's like the invisible illness of it all, too.
yeah, it's much easier to look at somebody in a wheelchair and understand that they have limitations and need accommodations. And it's obviously not easier to be
Of
somebody with
course.
that type of illness. There are massive amount of challenges they have to deal with. But when you have an invisible illness or disability, it is often met with disbelief. And have you tried a parasite cleanse? And,
And you have mold in your system,
yeah,
you have
and like
mold in your
do this,
house,
do
and
that, and have you just like tried yoga?
yeah, yeah,
And
yeah.
we've heard all the
Yeah.
things.
Yeah, of course. And those things have helped people. And like you said, the 10-minute meditation, like it's not like those things don't have value, but
Right,
both things can exist. It can have value and it's not going to make you miraculously better either,
right,
you know?
exactly. Yeah,
Okay. So to wrap things up, even though I could talk to you forever,
I know.
I'm going to do a couple rapid fire gut
Right.
feeling questions.
Okay,
Okay. Sweet or salty snack?
salty.
Salty.
Well, I have POTS.
Oh
I
yeah,
mean, come
that's
on.
true. What's
What
like your
even
what's
more?
your go-to salty?
All right, I can't eat it anymore
Oh,
because
right.
I destroyed it's probably the reason why my esophagus is destroyed, but it was Chester's hot fries. I love spicy salty so
Okay.
much that my boyfriend wrapped one of my birthday presents in a Chester's hot fries packet.
I've
Like
never even, I mean, I'm Canadian. Is Chester's hot fries, is this a
I
American thing or is it a Midwest thing
it's
or
probably an American thing. I wouldn't call it a Midwest thing. You can go to
get it
any
here?
7-Eleven or convenience
Okay.
store and find them. Yeah,
Okay,
most people
amazing.
don't like them, but I am obsessed. Yes,
Okay.
it's an
So that'll be
addiction.
like the first thing you eat
Gotta love
when
that
you're there.
red dye 40,
Right,
like
right, right,
yeah.
right. Okay. What's your go-to comfort food when your tummy hurts?
Oh, probably. Pho. Gotta
Pho,
love pho.
delicious. Okay,
Hmm.
most chaotic thing you've done in the name of gut health.
It's gross.
Tell me, tell me.
Um, well, I had a naturopath and we had to test this. You've done this. There's no way. Everyone,
I'm
you're not gonna
sure I've done
do
it
this.
all.
I mean, when you have to poop into a bag
Oh
because
yeah,
they have to test your poop and then you have to scoop it. But
babe,
like
it's
I
a
was like,
regular
I'm strong.
Tuesday for me.
Yeah,
Regular
I'm like, I'm
Tuesday.
strong. I can do this. I'll just wear my N95. No, gagging, gagging, crying, gagging,
Really?
like trying to. I couldn't do. My body doesn't like poo. Like I don't want it.
Oh,
Like I don't want to scoop it and put
I
it into
know.
a thing. It was. I don't want to do it again. So
Okay, fair
hopefully
enough.
that.
I'm kind of fascinated by it. I'm like, oh, interesting, but that's me.
Yeah.
Um, one food your tummy hates, but your soul loves.
Um, Taco Bell. Just as a whole, the whole menu.
Okay, what makes your tummy hurt emotionally?
Oh, so many things. Oh my gosh. Any stress. I'm such a highly reactive person. Stress of any kind, when that can even just mean going to a doctor's office.
Okay, and what heals it?
My cat, including
Yeah.
the one that passed.
Yeah.
My boyfriend and the office.
Oh, which one? The
Oh,
American one?
yeah, of
Yeah, yeah.
course.
Well, thank you so much for being. Oh, can you tell us where we can find you, your socials? I'll also put it in the show notes as well.
Oh yeah, I'm having a rebrand with my jewelry page, but it is
Amazing.
at Daggered Pearl Jewelry, and then you can find me at Amanda Zaeske.
You're amazing. Thank you so much for
Thank you
being
for having me.
here.
It was so
I
fun.
could talk to you
I could
forever.
complain about being sick all the
I
time.
know, I know, I know. You're the best.
You're the best.
Thank you. Okay.